All right, y'all. So I just wanted to talk about the different kinds of fasting that you can do. There's the water only. I'm doing a mainly electrolyte and water. There's bone broth fasting. There's black coffee, keto coffee fasting. Uh, People asked about carbonated water. So as far as the water only, I think that that's the more spiritual one. A lot of people believe that because you're not intaking any other substance besides water, that if you halt all the enzymatic processes in your body, you give your body a chance to reset hormonally and enzymatically, uh, allowing your body to restock everything that it does to digest and break down energy in your body. So that's one way to go about it. I'm using the electrolyte water fast predominantly. So I think it is my understanding that your body will use, it can either use sugar or fat as energy. So if you have stored fat, you have that base covered. If you're just doing about a 60 to 80% style workout, you're just creating a demand for muscle tissue to remain. So you'll keep whatever muscle tissue you have in theory, and if you supply the vitamins and minerals that your body cannot make on its own, aka the electrolytes, which is mainly the minerals, but also the vitamins to help with the other functions that vitamins do, then your body can maintain a fasted state almost as if you were fed, because in theory you are being fed. You're being fed your own fat, and then if you supply what the body cannot make on its own, which is mainly electrolytes and vitamins, then your body will actually carry on as if it was a normal day and you were fed. And that is literally how I feel right now. It is so crazy. This is all, I'm so excited to see where this goes. By the way, this is day 5 of my 7-day fast, which I'm actually considering taking a little bit further. We'll talk about that when it happens. Bone broth fasting, to my understanding of the physiology of how it works, you would be adding to the macro protein, but not to the energy-based macros, sugar and fat. So I think bone broth fasting would actually be super beneficial for someone like me in this position, where if I wanted to exert myself in working out, then I think it would actually be a good idea to bone broth fast, because you'll be getting the protein intake that your body needs to heal tissue damage. Because if you were pushing yourself to the 80 to 100% range, where your muscles are actually tearing and requiring protein to rebuild, then bone broth fasting would be a great idea, because you're feeding it the protein that it needs. And you're also getting a little bit of electrolyte with that sodium. I would actually throw in some electrolytes and vitamin 2s to aid in the process of rebuilding your muscle. Otherwise, your body, so taking a step back, sugar, fat, and protein, these are considered the general macros of what we use for energy. It is my personal opinion that these two, fat and sugar, are actually macros based in giving you energy, and protein is actually should actually only be used to rebuild cell structures. So to use protein as a form of energy, I think that taxes the body. It's possible. I think your body does it as a last resort, and I think you want to avoid doing that. I think if you can give the body energy either through carbs or fat, that's the best way to go about fueling energy, ATP creation, versus using protein and amino acids and breaking those down and going through the process of gluconeogenesis to make ATP. I think your body is taxed a little more to do that, and you might as well just use protein, the amino acids that it breaks down into, as just building material. So protein, in my opinion, should be used as building material, and sugar and fat should be used as energy. And you should almost look at macros as just fat and energy over here, and then protein as just a source to rebuild anything that you've tore down. So if you plan on working out vigorously during a workout or during a fast, I think the bone broth fast would probably be the best route. I actually will plan on experimenting with that probably pretty closely after this, because if I could build muscle while losing fat, that would probably be the ideal plan. So I'll probably try that later. Then the next one was black coffee and water for fasting. It is to my understanding that if you ingest coffee, coffee has a lot of caffeine in it. Caffeine interacts in your body in a way where it spikes epinephrine from your adrenal glands. When epinephrine is spiked into the bloodstream, that acts on the enzyme called hormone sensitive lipase to further expedite fat cells to empty their fatty acids into the bloodstream. So a real quick rundown of what I just said again is caffeine in coffee will spike epinephrine. Epinephrine will increase the fat release from your fat cells into the bloodstream. A lot of those fatty acids will then get converted into ketones by your liver. So some tissues will accept the fatty acids that are released, and some tissues, predominantly the brain, will receive the ketones as energy. So I just literally did this. I went out to brunch with some friends, and we had they had brunch, and I decided to go with black coffee. I tested my ketone levels, and it was 2.1 after I did that, or previously, oh no, it was 2.1 earlier this morning, and it was 2.5 after I came back. And that was mind-blowing because it just further confirms that epinephrine or caffeine in general will expedite this whole process. So yeah, there's that. Carbonated water, I drink that throughout most of my fast. I think the carbonation is more of a physical element, so it's not really chemically, or to my understanding, the way that carbonated water comes about, it's more of a physical change, not a chemical change. So I don't think it's any different than if you were to drink distilled water or mineral water, basic. Like I think sparkling mineral water is which is what I drink, the Crystal Geyser from Costco. I think that works just as good as H2O. Anyhow, shoot me with some questions or comments, and I will try to get back to you when I can. Peace.